Hi there. I'm Michael Bailey. You might know me from a podcast called Mainline Executive Coaching, ACT, and Cultural Transformation. It's a podcast that Rich and I do. Rich Barron, we're co-hosts on that, and we have been doing that for the last 4 years or so, right? And we're pretty well known throughout the world, so you may have caught one of or two of our podcasts, so you may know me from that. And if not, this is my introduction, so that you kind of get a sense of who I am, what I do, and if I may be somebody you want to work with or not. So let me give you a little bit of the background. I'm going to give you this intro in the context of um, my life really began the day after. And the day after was this, the day after I didn't drive my car over a cliff. Yep, that's what it was. Tough time. I was in a bad place at that particular point in my life, obviously. And dropped out of school, going nowhere, broke up with my girlfriend, had a dead end job. I hated this job. I'd said drugs, all sorts of stuff. Life just wasn't working for me. I just got to a point that I don't want to deal with this anymore. New Year's Eve, there's a party with a bunch of my friends from high school out in Westwood. It's a pretty swank area out there in LA, by Beverly Hills and Hollywood, and just kind of that really upscale kind of a place. So I drove out from the west, from the San Fernando Valley rather, and it's a nice place out there too. About a 40-minute drive, and I get there. Oh gosh, it's great. It was just a party. Would you imagine Hollywood parties? Maybe not as bad as some of those parties, but it was a party. Drugs and friends and drinking and all that stuff was going on, and I just decided what I wanted to do was to tell my friends I can't do it, can't deal with it, don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm just going to be done with it. And I wanted to tell them that, not to get them to talk me out of it, not to get them to feel pity for me, none of that stuff. It's again, this is how messed up I was back then, right? I just wanted them to know that what had happened, so they wouldn't like, gosh, what happened? Did you hear? All that kind of jazz. So then I was going on at some point. I thought, well, this is the time to get my friends together and tell them about this. And I didn't want them to talk me out of it or anything like that. I just wanted to let them inform them, you might say, what I was doing and why. So I gathered them around and said, hey, we're through some tough times. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm just going to end my life. And I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not upset with anybody. I'm just done. Interesting. I was feeling pretty good about it. When you make that decision, you're done with your life, you actually feel pretty good because there's no tomorrow. You're not worried about tomorrow. Of course, after that, you really don't know. That's the trick, right? So then I gather my friends around and I'm telling them this, saying, I just can't go on. It's too much for me, and I want you to know so you don't worry, and blah, blah, blah. I got just the exact reaction that I thought. Not, well, what's going on, and da da da, da, all that kind of stuff. I got, well, why'd you tell us that? I mean, that's a bummer. I mean, you really do want to just ruin our night. Gosh, can't believe you do that. And they just walk away. I was stunned, stunned. If I thought that I felt alone before, man, I was like really feeling alone. Sometimes as a leader, you feel that way, like really alone. So I'm not sure what to make of that. I just kind of wandered around after that like an idiot. Everybody's drinking, drugged out, having a great time, and I'm just going, where now? What now? Anyway, I remember leaving, getting in the car. I was really tired, really, really tired. Again, about a 40-minute drive back to where I lived. And I just too tired at that point. The plan was to go to the top of Topanga Canyon. You may have heard of Topanga Canyon, maybe you haven't, maybe you have. It's where the hippies used to hang out. They still hang out. It's still a weird place. Topanga Canyon is a weird place. It's one of the ways you get to from the San Fernando Valley over to the coast, to the beach. Anyway, I was just too tired. All I had to do was drive to the top of Topanga Canyon. It's a magnificent view of the San Fernando Valley. It's just like this black blanket of plain sparkle with diamonds, all lights and everything. It's actually very, very beautiful. I was just too tired to do that. I'll just go home, go to bed. The next morning I wake up and I am just like in another world. It's just surreal. Surreal. It's just, what's going on? Existential. I'm supposed to be dead, blah, blah. And as I'm driving around in my car, I realize finally, something's wrong, really wrong. And at that point, I realized there was something really wrong. I also had another realization, and that was this. There was really nothing wrong with me. I was just in a place where I got myself to because bad decisions, bad choices, just bad stuff I'd done to myself. I had bad information, wrong information, a lot of things I just didn't understand. But fundamentally, there was nothing wrong with me. I was just screwed up because of wrong information and choices. And that's what I want you to understand as a leader. It doesn't matter where you're coming from in a lot of ways. It's all about, you want to become a great leader. It's going to be simple. Simple. Stop doing some things. Stop doing some bad habits, some bad actions, some bad behaviors, or not so good behaviors. That's not great stuff. Just stop that. And instead, do these things over here. Stop that. Do these things. Stop the bad habits, the bad whatevers, and start the great stuff. Start it over here. There's nothing wrong with you. I want to take away from you this idea that you're flawed. There's something wrong. You're all whatever. You can never make it as a real leader, imposter syndrome, all that kind of crap. I want to take that away from you. God. And start realizing I just have got to learn some other ideas, thoughts, behaviors. I need to practice them to become the great leader that I truly can become. So that's what this introductory uh, video is really all about. And hopefully it makes sense to you. Hopefully I've given you a little bit of hope too about what can be done, how you can go ahead and don't drag a lot of junk with you into this coaching program. Jettison the junk and just jump on board. Have a great time. Work hard, work smart. Things will work out. They will. Work hard, work smart. It'll be okay. That's it for this one. All the best. Talk to you soon.